Okay, Wes, I see that you're going to take us into the combination today of Veritas Cluster Server in with the Veritas Resiliency Platform. What can you tell us about it?
Alrighty, so VCS in a VRP platform. So basically, what I have at the top is just a standard VRP configuration, resiliency managers at both sites, infrastructure management servers, one or more, managing other assets, virtual machines or applications. I have on my Paris data center side the same thing, infrastructure management server, managing assets that would be a mirror of what's over here. And down below is our configuration for our Veritas Cluster Server that we're going to be managing with our VRP configurations to do migrations, takeovers, and rehearsals. So essentially, I have a 2-node cluster. And of course, this is standard Veritas Cluster Server with the global cluster option, so all parameters for that are in play here. So this is just a 2-node cluster, standalone 2-node cluster, standalone 2-node cluster. We have in our cluster service group our wide area connector that gives us our communication path and heartbeat path between our clusters, so these can communicate to coordinate startup and shutdown of our global service groups. So global service groups differ from regular service groups in VCS in that regular service groups are local to that cluster. Global service groups have the ability to perform failover, and it's not moving one service group to the other, it's coordinating startup for like service groups between sites. We use a process called authority for that. We also have replication. So the replication will be configured for a service group. It's all handled by VCS. Okay? All we do when we're dealing with this in a VRP environment is make sure these nodes at your local data center for VCS have been added as managed host to a VOM server. Do the same thing at the other site. This side of your global cluster, these nodes will be managed hosts added to this VOM server. Then we add these VOM servers to our resiliency managers at each site, and then the resiliency manager will discover what VOM knows about these components. It'll discover your application in your service group here. And you'll be presented that as an asset that can go into a resiliency group, and we can then issue commands essentially to perform like a migration. Say we come through the VOM server talks to VCS, VCS initiates the shutdown here, role reversal of replication, brings the service group up online over at the other side. Okay. Now, one of the things you might question is, why do I need VRP in this environment if global clustering does my migrations for me, does failover for me? I can do local workload management, start and stop there. I can do takeover services, etc. So what is the need of VRP? Well, that's the beauty of VRP. VRP doesn't require any VCS configurations. VRP can manage our business services that are not under VCS control. And with this process here, we can coordinate startup and shutdown for services that are under VCS control along with services that are not under VCS control. So my end-to-end business processes, back-end databases here, maybe my front-end web services here, all my applications and stuff in between, all managed through the VRP environment. That one-click operation, perform a migration, handles the whole stack.
Great.
And there it is.
Well, fantastic. I appreciate you taking us through how the products work together. Thank you very much, Wes. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure.